there's another article that I just had to talk about. It's a little clip. So this is from the Wall Street Journal, and I actually found this on Twitter. This was gonna give a shout out where shout outs are due. This is from Tugs, that Tug Life on Twitter posted this. So I just couldn't believe what I was reading. So welcome, guys. Final Death Star. Here we go. This is Bob Iger making a comment about Star Wars that it reinforces the idea that they just don't get it. They just don't understand what they have with Star Wars. So we're going to read it here. "We are walking a very fine line," Mr. Iger said. He told him, "If we don't satisfy the most ardent fan, we'd be killed." Now, this is just a snippet. I believe he's talking with J.J. Abrams in this article. So I think he's saying that JJ had told Bob Iger, "We're walking a very fine line, and if we don't satisfy the most ardent fan, we'd be killed." The new Rise of Skywalker is still expected to be a blockbuster, and those alienated by The Last Jedi have turned to Mr. Abrams with hope. I don't know how true that is. One executive who has worked with Mr. Abrams said the director is keeping longtime fans in mind by bringing back the Emperor out of nowhere, by copying and pasting. I guess that's their idea of keeping fans in mind. You know, it's not so much honoring, doing it justice. It's more like throwing it in there. Saying it is like an invisible fan is whispering in his ear during story meetings. He should have the fandom menace whispering in his ear during story meetings. I was myself and Drunk 3PO and Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark. We were on live stream and just kind of thrown out ideas, and we pretty much rewrote the entire sequel trilogy, and it was fantastic. I'm trying to get Drunk 3PO to, release that video off of his live streams. It'd be a lot of fun to watch that again because it was a great idea, or we could come up with it again. But we rewrote the whole trilogy just during that live stream, like in a half hour. And it sounded great. We were all very excited about it. So, it can be done. You just have to have the right people who, care about Star Wars and the legacy that it has left. Following the conclusion of the Skywalker trilogy this month, Mr. Iger said he wants the next set of movies to be more accessible to common moviegoers, unburdened by decades of Star Wars memories. But he knows that will likely alienate some fans. "You can't make everyone happy," he said. "If you're not going to update a property," he said, "you might as well stick it in a museum and watch it get old." That museum would be Disney Plus streaming service. That's the museum he's talking about. And I would add, if you're not going to update a property properly, then don't do it at all. I'm happy just watching, my originals and the prequels and Clone Wars, on video. If they're not gonna properly update the property, then don't do it at all. But see, now he just doesn't get it when he says he wants the next set of films to be accessible to common moviegoers, unburdened by decades of Star Wars. The common moviegoer is not that interested in Star Wars. It's not Marvel. They're not going to flock to these movies. You can't turn it into like Marvel-style movies. You want the, he knows it'll likely alienate some fans. Well, you want those fans who would be alienated by your idea. Those are the fans you want because it's us that are going to bring our kids, and pass on the legacy. That's what we want to do. And it's not. I don't think you're gonna win by trying to make these Star Wars movies more accessible to moviegoers. I don't think Star Wars is as big to the common moviegoer as it is to the fans. Because again, this isn't Marvel. It doesn't work the same way. And I don't think Mr. Bob Iger really gets that. You know, they're trying to make Star Wars into something it's not. Those are my feelings. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I had to share this. I read this and thought, you just see this as, again, more evidence that they just don't get it. But let me know what you think. You know, can it be done? Can they bring Star Wars to the common folk? The normies out there? Are they going to be as interested as they are for, Infinity Wars? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Again, I don't think, I've said this before in videos, I don't think you could take Rise of Skywalker's numbers, because obviously it's going to do well. It's like it's finishing up everything that's been started for over 40 years. So I don't think you can take that as a measuring stick. I think you need to, because these films are going to be unrelated to that. So they want to start a more normalized Star Wars, common day Star Wars, that doesn't have anything to do with Skywalker. So, you're not going to get those normal fans who are like, oh, I remember seeing the movies. I remember seeing that Han Solo guy. Let's go see what happens to him. And, you're not going to get that crowd. You're going to have to get a new crowd. And if you're going to alienate the fans that you already have that have stuck by you for 30 to 40 years now, I don't think that's a good move. So we'll see, but let me know what you think in the comments down below on Mr. Iger's statements. And until next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.